Hello all, welcome to my short video about how I have explored the use of ChatGPT to design assessments. I'm a lecturer at my local university delivering units in research design and in academic writing. I will tell you what I've learned so you don't have to do the experiments. I'm also doing postdoctoral research for the university's Unit of Digital Learning and Society, which has involved, among other things, exploring generative artificial intelligence and how it is and can be used in universities. Students have recently become increasingly disengaged with the readings, so I decided to try replacing some of the outdated readings with relevant TED Talks. This talk by Abby Grace is one such example for the research course. The use of TED Talks as a teaching tool has become increasingly popular across a variety of disciplines, and they are now common in hybrid or flipped classrooms. They can be linked with topics from the curriculum, textbooks, or other scholarly readings that relate to specific learning objectives. TED Talks offer an accessible, non-threatening and approachable way to introduce diverse topics and perspectives to 21st century student cohorts. This talk by Teeman Cook on the scientific method is another one that was used in this research project. As a researcher in the field of digital education, I decided to see how effectively ChatGPT could generate multiple choice, true or false, or fill in the blank type questions for formative assessments. Also, to explore the outcomes of progressive prompt engineering, I designed 3 levels of prompt for each question style. Level 1, shown here, was a basic prompt simply asking to generate the questions from the transcriptions of the TED Talks. Level 2 provided some contextual background, and Level 3 provided more detail and more context and background, and requested the questions to be designed to ascertain students' understanding of the content and engagement with the TED Talk. I prepared transcriptions of each TED Talk, actually TEDx in both of these cases, and included them in the prompts to ChatGPT. ChatGPT was very quick in delivering, in every case, 5 draft questions. But how good are they? At first, ChatGPT did not seem to know what a fill-in-the-blank question was, as it generated questions requiring full long-form answers. So I then asked ChatGPT to explain what a fill-in-the-blank question style is, and then used its own correct response to train itself before prompting for each fill-in-the-blank question. So what did I learn? So you don't have to. ChatGPT can count to 5. I always prompted for 5 questions and it always responded with 5. ChatGPT will not always supply the answers if you don't prompt it to do so, as you can see here. Out of the 6 level 1 prompts, only once did ChatGPT actually supply the answers. Although never prompted to do so, ChatGPT always created multiple choice questions with 4 options, and it never created an all of the above type multiple choice question. When ChatGPT is asked to create multiple choice questions, it might create a list where more than one, in fact in some cases even all the answers are possibly correct. It then arbitrarily decides which it allocates as the actual correct answer. ChatGPT is not very good at developing incorrect answers from this kind of transcription content. It's necessary to prompt ChatGPT to ensure only one answer is correct, and even then it might fail. Look how vague question 3 is here, and also observe it did not supply any indication of which is the correct answer. Of the 90 questions generated by ChatGPT in this exercise, 42 of them were immediately deemed unusable. The most common reason was the question and associated answers were just too ambiguous and vague, or they wouldn't really assess the student's engagement with the talk. ChatGPT has no consistent output template and will provide questions in different formats, as you can see here. This is just one example of why there will always need to be human input in editing and formatting, etc., before being able to use the outputs from generative AI. The majority of true or false questions were true. A student could mindlessly select true for all the answers and then pass the test, even if the pass mark was raised to 75%. The more context and the more detail, the better. By simple word count alone, ChatGPT provided more comprehensive responses to more detailed prompts. The average response to the level 1 prompts was 160 words, to the level 2 prompts it was 192 words, and to the level 3 prompts it was 224 words. So the more detailed questions contained extra relevant content that might help students engage with the content better during the formative assessment. The true-false questions were often too simple and students would be able to answer them without watching the TED Talk. I didn't end up using any of them. This example is one that is just blatantly obvious. Most of the fill-in-the-blank questions were not explicit enough to have only one possible correct answer. This would make them unsuitable for automated marking. The questions generated by ChatGPT were always presented in an order related to their position within the TED Talk. Presenting the questions in such an order could help the students find the answers. However, mixing up the question order may in fact better assess their understanding of the presentation. Some of the questions it produced I did really like. This is the first multiple choice question in the level 3 set for the talk by Abigail Grease, and it includes a little twist. The question asks about the focus of the first type of research discussed in the talk. However, one of the incorrect options, option A, is in fact the focus of the second type of research discussed, which is the main focus of the talk. This will assess which students are actually paying close attention. To conclude, out of the 90 questions produced by ChatGPT, I only ended up selecting 5 for the formative assessments I was developing. ChatGPT can produce questions, but there is still a lot of human effort involved in selection and editing to make them usable. This process may not save any time, however it could reduce cognitive load or be an excellent kickstarter to the process of designing assessments. Now you're probably wondering why there's a picture of a hamburger. I asked AI to generate an image of someone reducing their cognitive load, and this is what it came up with. Anyway, if you've made it this far, thanks for listening.